Hey everyone, Brian from Three Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey guys, what's the opposite of formaldehyde?
I don't know, Derek. What?
Casual to Jekyll.
Oh, finally.
So worth the wait.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It looks like a pink nightmare.
Christmas as in Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
Father's Imperial. All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son. Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana. I am your father.
Good to be back. Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of Three Geeky Dads, the show with multiple personalities and none of them having any personality. If you figure that out, you're good. I am Mark, and with me as always are the kiss and kiss to my bang bang,
Derek.
Brian.
and with me as always to say F you to math and the accuracy of our show title, the guy all the ladies want to bang if drunk enough, the Axel F to the rest of our Beverly Hills Cop movie. Tito.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Pretty good.
It's time for some improvised dialogue.
I thought you were going to call us the fat white cops that he hangs out with.
I thought you were going to call Tito your boo.
Judge Reinhold?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Hector Elizondo.
How's everybody? Yeah, no. Hector. Leave Hector.
Nobody wants to be him.
No.
Nobody wants to be
Not even him.
Nobody wants to. Hector Alonso doesn't want to be Hector Alonso.
Elizondo.
Elizondo. Lasagna.
Lasagna.
How's everybody doing? Tito, how's fantasy
Poor man
football
Stanley
going?
Tucci.
Poor man Stanley. Oh.
Who's that? Hector
that's
Alonso?
funny.
Hector Elizondo.
I don't know who you're
Elizondo?
talking about. Hector Alonso, though.
Whatever.
No, I'm calling him Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso.
Elizondo.
Alonso Morissette. Isn't it ironic?
You're leaving,
Maria Conchita Elizondo.
Ooh.
you're leaving
No, wait a
the
minute.
entire syllable out.
I'm sorry.
Maria
You're
Conchita
putting the wrong
Alonso.
emphasis on
the wrong syllable.
syllable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that at least.
If
would be
that is
something.
not
You're
the
leaving out
epitome
syllables.
of hyperbole.
Epitome of hyperbole.
That at least would be something.
Okay, Penelope, on with the show.
I'm waiting to hear how we're doing. How is everybody having a good week?
great. Yeah,
September. We've
fantastic.
launched into September.
Yeah, we are.
The
Yeah,
fall
yeah,
season's
I know.
upon
So,
us.
I love fall. My favorite time of year.
How's football going? Your fantasy football
It
things
starts
happening?
tomorrow, baby.
You're very happy with the turnout.
I have drafter's remorse, but we'll see.
Okay,
I have a team of drafted players that I didn't draft.
that's true. You
Yeah,
were
who
saying
did it
that
for me.
earlier.
We're gonna.
Yep.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Tito wants to manage it.
We're gonna
just-
win this fucking thing. Yeah, come on.
Well, that's good because we need money.
Yeah.
You know, we have a Ko-fi page. Oh, that's
Come back.
That's right.
That's skipping way ahead. All right. Well, that concludes the sports talk of our show, I think. Is that
Yeah,
everything
that's
sports
it.
related? No, that's
Yeah.
it. It's good enough. Tonight, the dads continue round 2 of their Heading Toward Halloween Hammer series with a look at the recently released Hammer movie Doctor Jekyll, starring famed comedian and actor Eddie Izzard as the latest carnation of the infamous Doctor/Madman who faces an eternal battle of good and evil with the dichotomous doctor's only loss being those who get in his way. But before we light our specially laced cigarettes and take our prescriptions for pain, our own doctor of delicious delicacies, Brian, has prepared a yummy appetizer to start us off.
That's
Brian.
right.
Peter, wake up. Okay. I got you this chicken.
Tonight, as Mark mentioned, we are going to be looking at the brand new Hammer film, Doctor Jekyll. This film stars Eddie Izzard, as Mark mentioned, as the titular doctor, and this film, upon its release, was a bit of a controversy, as Eddie Izzard played Nina Jekyll, a trans woman who transforms into a sinister manipulator. Now, there have been plenty of versions of this classic Robert Louis Stevenson story adapted for the screen, both good and not so good. And we wanted to talk about some of our favorite versions of past Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde films.
Excellent.
Yeah, or Dr. Jekyll like
yeah.
performances.
Or Dr. Jekyll-like performances.
That's where I went with.
Listen, Boo, we can do it however you want.
Yep,
All right,
exactly. It's
sweethearts.
our show. We can bend our own rules.
We can
That's
bend
it.
our own rules.
Like Beckham.
Bend it like Beckham. Remember Beckham? No, that was Becker.
All right, num-nums. Who's up first?
I thought we
I
stopped
go
the sports talk.
Who's up
Do I
first?
start?
I think
'Cause
you.
Dean started last time.
Yeah.
All right. I am going with the Dr. Jekyll.
Num-nums?
Num-num.
That's what, yeah, I was just. Everybody's
Oh,
calling
because
each other
Boo?
cute names.
Oh,
Boo-boo.
Num-nums and Boo. And
You called him something after he.
I called him
you Boo?
Sweetums.
Yeah, Sweetums.
Oh, wow.
Num-nums.
I'm going to call you Sugar Bumps.
Sugar
That
Bumps.
you,
Bumps.
Sugar Bumps? Like Jack Palance. All right, listen up, Sugar Bumps, because mine is a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde-esque performance.
Yep.
But this, of course, is going to Vincent Price for House of Wax. He starts off as the kindest, most wonderful sculptor, infamous sculptor, who's only interested in capturing the beauty of life. But then his partner decides to burn down the wax museum, and he, in the process for the insurance money, and Vincent Price turns into a twisted maniacal maniac who still makes wax sculptures, but they're all macabre and evil, and he himself is now evil and murderous. So,
I never
but
saw
he
that
still
version.
has to go and pretend he's himself when the wax is on his face and
Right.
everything. But there's still a hint of that evilness even when he's trying to be good post-burning. So this is a great movie. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Vincent Price performance. Check it out.
House of Wax. Yeah, I never
House of
saw
Wax.
it.
Much
Great
better.
movie.
Much better than the remake.
Oh, don't even
What
tell
was
me.
that? What's that girl?
Alicia
the
Cooper?
really rich one.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one.
That's
She's good.
See Paris
Because
die.
everybody went
That's
to
right.
see Paris
Right.
die.
It was a tagline.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
see it. That was the
And-
only reason.
It didn't
And-
stick, though.
And the Vincent Price version is a remake of the 1933 version with Fay Wray and
Fay
Lionel
Wray and
Atwill
Lionel
called
Atwill.
Mystery in the Wax Museum,
That's true.
which is
Yep.
awesome.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that
Awesome
one's
version.
really good.
Yes.
Both are really good movies, but the original one does not have Vincent Price.
No, it does not.
But it's still a good flick.
Absolutely. Good pick, Mark.
Thank you.
Mine, well, while much to Mark's chagrin, Moon Knight didn't feature the character in costume very much at all. But the actual performance that Oscar Isaac gave as Mark Spector and his alter egos Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley is nothing short of stunning.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
like
That
watching,
is a good pick.
like
It is
watching two
quite
separate
Jekyll and
actors.
Hyde.
He was the heartbeat of the show, with a show that was only peppered with comic
Moon
book
Knight,
imagery.
only peppered
But-
with Moon Knight.
I enjoyed it because of that. I think
So
that
did I.
it was.
Yeah,
he
Oscar
was
Isaac
just,
was
he was
really
just
good.
so good, and and so believable. So
Would have been great in something else, were it not called Moon Knight, but
You couldn't have seen his face.
Demented Guy or something, anything.
well, that's
Oscar
the problem.
Isaac's one-man
isn't it-
show.
is
That's
it
the
true
problem
to
with
the
all of
story?
those, all of
I don't
stuff
know.
with the C in the face. Like they keep casting these amazing actors in these roles that are masked people,
Yeah.
and then they just take off the mask. You know,
Take off your head.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like it.
so
Yeah. And Moon Knight, they just took away the whole character. They said, at least Robert Downey Jr. is still wearing
The armor.
the armor.
He might not have his helmet on all
we'll
the
see
time.
if he actually wears the Doom mask.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm going with my favorite, 1931's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, starring Frederick March,
Excellent
directed by
choice.
Ruben Mamoulian. I don't know if I'm
Mamoulian.
Mamoulian.
Yeah, Alonso.
This was a fantastic version
I don't
of.
know. Are you gonna trust him though? Because he doesn't even know how to pronounce
true, I don't.
Elizondo.
Maybe it was Ruben Babulian. Boo Boo.
Say it's going to be Julia Boolia.
Julia Gulian.
Booby.
Julia Boolia. Oh, Boo Booby.
I think he's Armenian. Because it rhymes with Armenian. Dean would be able to back
Oh,
me up here.
yeah.
if
Oh,
he
by
was
the
out
way,
there.
very
Dean.
quickly, Dean could not, he wanted to join us tonight because he did watch the movie.
With
but
us last week.
He could not make it, unfortunately. So shout out to Dean.
Yep.
Shout out to Gene.
Gene. Yeah,
Shout out to Gene Alonzo.
Hope your back feels better, Dean.
Sorry, Brian. Continue.
Yeah, this is a fantastic version of the movie. It's amazing as far as the effects go for the transformation from Jekyll to Hyde. The movie's in black and white. It came out in 1931, and the way that they did the transformation scene was all done in camera, and it wasn't really revealed until I think 1969 or 70 when the director finally said how he did it, which was different makeup, different colors of makeup on his face, and they used different filters on the camera, and they just keep adding and subtracting filters so it would
that's
transform his face. And because it was in black and white, you didn't know what the colors were, but it totally transformed his face, and it was awesome.
Like right in front of everybody.
So
Right
it
in
was the
front
same
of you.
actor.
Yeah, it was the same actor.
was-
Frederick
yeah.
March as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it was all done straight in broad daylight and right in the camera. I mean, he's looking in a mirror when this is happening, and it's right there. It's
Nice.
wonderful. 1931, what they could do.
Talk about being ahead of its time.
It's
You didn't even have the. I don't even think they had perfected the lap dissolve. Excuse me, the lap dissolve on the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Or cutaways, or
Which came a
anything.
few years later, even
Much
still.
later.
Yeah. Because that was 35, right? Or no,
Oh, the
39.
Henry Hall one was 39. Yeah. So
Yeah,
a few years
yeah.
later, but
And-
still, way to
yeah.
go, man.
Yeah.
Very innovative.
I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, I watched it again last week
I know.
on your Voodoo.
yeah.
I finally got the sound to work on that movie. Remember?
Oh, that's
It wasn't
right.
working
That's
for some
right.
reason. I'm like, Derek, what's up?
He cursed you.
Thank God I'm not paying for this. I have no sound on your movie, Derek. I had no idea it'd be this shitty. I won't pay.
Mine is this is my favorite Hammer film. Of all the Hammer films I've seen, it's Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. I think this is
Awesome
a
film.
really fucking interesting movie. Martine Beswick?
Yes.
Is that how you say her name?
Yep.
She is phenomenal in this film. She oozes sex appeal. I really like, for a movie from the 70s, how kind of nuanced and sensitive they are with the material and what they're dealing with. And it's kind of groundbreaking in certain ways. But yeah, just a fun movie. I've seen it more than once. And I think this is the only one I've seen
cool.
more than once where I've wanted to watch again. I just think it's a really fun, interesting movie.
That says a lot for
And she's
you
a
in
fucking
a
babe,
Hammer
she's
film.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I like that.
I've definitely seen ones that I liked, but this is the only one that I've been like, oh, you know, I feel like watching that today. So it's been fun, definitely getting to dive into these films, and this is a really fucking fun film.
I'm glad I could introduce you to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
You weren't here when we first started this, when we did like the head honchos, the main ones. We should.
Right.
No,
We
I
should
listened to the
revisit them with
episodes,
you.
but
I'm curious to think to see what you think of some.
I
of
think
them.
I watched one of them with the. Is it a twins one?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Twins
Twins
of
of
Evil.
Evil.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
I think
Yeah, it
I
is.
think we watched that one night.
Yeah, we might have. The Collinson twins in real life. Mary and
Dashing.
Madeline
Right,
Right,
Collinson.
all their stuff was dubbed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
They were from Austria, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, and so their accents were really thick, and the producers were like, maybe we should overdub them with some
Not
British
so
sounding
good.
actress. And
That movie has the Justice League cartoon score in it.
oh, that's right. You were the one that pointed that out.
If I play the two back to back, they sound so much alike. It's like Shirley Jackson had to be a horror fan.
She must have been a Hammer
Not
fan.
Shirley Jackson. Is it Shirley Jackson?
Shirley Bassey.
Shirley.
No, Shirley Jackson.
Is it who did the music?
No, because Shirley Jackson is the one that wrote
Shirley Jones.
The Haunt of Hill. No, Shirley Jones is the mother.
I know. I'm throwing shit out to
Hold on.
Me and my big mouth.
Shirley Bassey.
Shirley Walker. Shirley Walker.
Oh, yeah,
Shirley
yeah,
Jackson
yeah.
is a writer.
She's a writer.
Yeah,
she
she wrote
wrote
The Haunting.
yeah.
Wrong one. Sorry. Okay, so Shirley Walker
That's
is
all right, bud.
apparently is
Right.
a Hammer fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, excellent.
Good pick there, Tito.
Thanks.
Nice.
That's a good movie.
Runners up?
I have a runner-up.
All right,
Yeah,
here
go
we
ahead, Mark.
Kevin Spacey and The Usual Suspects, Linda Blair
Nice.
in The
That's a good
Exorcist,
one. Oh, good.
Henry Hull in Werewolf of London, because that was very Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde like. You know, he worked around, just got dressed. He was a werewolf that just put a hat on. He's like, I'm going out to kill him.
Just a hairy guy.
Christopher Reeve in Superman 3.
Oh, wow.
when he becomes evil and then splits into two. This is the best part of this stupid fucking movie is this when he's fighting bad Superman, because you get to see Christopher Reeve play a dick, and it's fucking fantastic.
Nice.
And Vince Vaughn in Freaky. You know?
Good call.
Yeah, so that's mine.
I had Ali Larder as Nikki and Jessica Sanders on
fucking
Heroes. Right.
Yep. Dr. Cyrus Longworth and John Yeager from Dark Shadows, and not the movie, the show.
The old show.
And Eddie Murphy as Sherman Klump and Buddy Love in The Nutty Professor.
Nice.
Excellent.
These
Excellent.
are good.
Right.
I was racking my brain on this fucking thing.
Well, I'm going to go with my very first exposure to Jekyll and Hyde story, and that was Hyde and Hare, 1955 Bugs Bunny cartoon, directed by
Yes!
Fritz Freeling. Love that one.
Excellent.
And another one that I was thinking of as you were talking and you were talking, I believe it's called The Stepfather with
With the guy from Lost?
Oh,
with the
Terry
guy from Lost,
O'Quinn,
Terry
the
O'Quinn.
stepfather.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he pretends to be the all-American.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. What am I trying to say? Like a nuclear father.
Right.
From
the
nuclear
all-American
family.
dad.
The all-American dad, and deep down he's a serial
He
killer.
likes to kill his family.
And if they don't live up to his expectations, then he offs them and moves on to another family.
See, that's when fatherhood meant something. You
That's
can't
right.
do that now.
No, you can't.
I didn't have any runners.
No?
All right.
No. Yeah.
Sorry.
Anything come,
That's all right.
come to
No, I'm
mind
just keeping it
offhand?
simple.
One
No.
came to
All
my
right.
mind, Shadow of a Doubt, with Joseph Cotton playing.
Oh, I
Uncle-
love that
Uncle
one.
Charlie.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock.
The seemingly nice uncle who is also
Uncle
a
Charlie.
killer. Uncle Charlie. Okay.
Really
All right.
good. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Good. Excellent
favorite.
appetizers.
Great
everybody.
job, everyone.
Let me just flip over my pamphlet to make sure I'm doing this right. Well, that's our appetizers. Are we ready for the main course?
The main course.
Got a yes? That was beautiful.
I'm ready whenever you are.
I
Oh boy.
bunch of snakes in here.
What happened?
You're a city of snakes, aren't you?
It's like steam escaping.
Anybody out there laughing, or is it just us four? I'm kind of curious.
I guess we'll find out.
We will find out.
Okay, so the main course.
The main.
Two dinners. Yum.
Nick, do you like biscotti?
Yep, usually like it. But be better if it was warm.
Please, Nick, eat some biscotti. I didn't realize you enjoyed eating worms, Nick.
No.
They are worms.
There's worms wiggling around in my plate.
It's worm-like, but not actually worm.
We stole that idea from the Lost Boys.
The doctor is in, and you folks have an appointment with him. Just be sure to get the doctor on a good day, because when said doctor is in a bad mood, it's a really bad mood. Jekyll and Hyde, the ultimate yin and yang of personalities, the very symbolism of the literary id. For decades, Robert Louis Stevenson's classic medical and macabre creation has roamed the cinema in many genres, with some fine performances from some of the greats, such as Frederick Marsh, Anthony Perkins, and Spencer Tracy. There was also a movie with Sean Young.
And Tim Daly.
Yeah,
Tim Daly.
Jack Palance did a
Jack
TV
Palance
movie, I
do one
believe,
too?
as did Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine played Dr.
I'm
Jekyll.
discovering- oh, did he
I
do
never
it for
saw
another
that
summer?
one.
Oh, he never saw that
But
one
I saw
either.
the house
I
there.
saw the speedboat it got me, and it was so-so. It was a so-so speedboat.
Jim Henson's Dr. Jekyll babies.
Hey, Bert! Throughout the years, the story of Dr. Jekyll has morphed into movies like Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, or Dr. Jekyll and Miss Hyde. And with tonight's flick, transgender comedian and actor Eddie Izzard dons both persona of the dichotomous doctor. And tonight, the dads in one of our roundtable formats will discuss not only Izzard as the latest incarnation of the Doctor, but also Hammer's return to the laboratory. Which is they are once again giving life into the finest icons in classic horror and always bringing on the babes and boobs and the blood. And this movie kind of is no difference, but it's still worthy enough to be called a Hammer movie. And that's true. Yeah. But it had blood. So it's still enough to say it's Hammer time.
Transylvania, land of dark forests, dread mountains, and black, unfathomed lakes.
Isn't the thing that's dead supposed to be dead for all time? Yet we brought it back to life.
Gentlemen, no ordinary wolf who has done this thing.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of many things, and most of all, it's going to be this movie. So, opening thoughts. I'm starting. I liked Eddie Izzard. I did not like the movie. I'm sorry to say, I thought this was a great performance, but it was kind of wasted in this movie that didn't feel much like a Hammer film to me, and unfortunately suffered a lot of the same tropes and problems I have with a lot of horror films, which are just the same tired jump scares, not there 1 minute, there the second. I don't know. Hammer films have always been unique. They've offered a different take on familiar characters and just not just the characters themselves, but the way they would tell the story. And this movie just did not do it. It felt like, Eddie Izzard just carried the whole thing. She was fun to watch, but everything else just didn't do it for me. So it was kind of a downer for me. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, I disagree. Although I can see what you mean, and there's definitely things that I think they dropped the ball on, but I think overall it was, for me, it was enjoyable. Oh, by the way, Eddie Izzard is okay with he and him.
Oh, good to know.
Pronouns,
all right.
so,
I knew at one point.
Right. So
I don't know.
It's a little confusing right now because I've also seen Eddie billed as Susie Eddie Izzard lately.
Oh, I haven't seen that. No, I was reading an article after we watched this, and I noticed that they like actually said that in the article that he uses he and him sometimes
because he started off as just a transvestite. He was
right,
himself,
an executive transvestite.
He's an executive transvestite.
That's right.
And, so
like pretty much just
now
like to wear women's clothes, but
fully embracing his femininity.
Yeah, which
that's cool.
Good on him.
Whatever.
All right.
I think he's one of the funniest people.
Absolutely.
Like I can remember going home, running home when Dress to Kill was on.
Dress
HBO.
to Kill was my first introduction.
And,
to
oh
him
my
as well.
God! Like Cake or Death.
Did you ever see him live?
Like I have. I've seen him 3 times.
I saw him live, but
Really?
he wasn't in drag. I think it was around the time when the Riches that show.
Oh yeah. That's one with Minnie Driver, right?
He doesn't always do it in drag, like because
I was kind of bummed.
Two of the shows that
he bounces back and forth.
Yeah, two of the shows I was at, he had makeup on, but like he was wearing a regular suit. I thought he was amazing in it, and I think it actually tried a little too hard to be a Hammer film. There were things about it that screamed Hammer, but then there were some things that was like
the last 20 minutes of the movie, maybe, but it was like they forgot they were doing a Hammer movie, so they crammed it all in at the end.
Well,
and the rest of it just
more so the atmosphere.
Boring.
More so like the music, the atmosphere.
The music.
I did like the music. I remember saying
good.
that when we were watching
it. The exterior shots were beautiful. Right? I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That's all I'll give you.
The creepy old Gothic house, the manor house setting. That's
the way that they shot like the trees, the bare trees outside of like on the estate.
It definitely had Hammer
definitely
elements.
reminded me of like all those openings of the Hammer movies where it's like going through the woods and
exactly, and it was always the same woods. You could always pick out exactly where they were when they were filming.
Well, it's like the castle,
Bray Studios, right? Exactly, everything was the same.
We needed a night. We needed a night for day. Show.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Really bad one. As far as me, like you guys, I loved Eddie Izzard in this movie. I've always liked Eddie, and I think he was perfect for this role. I did like a lot of, like you said, Derek, the Hammer elements that were in it. I would have liked to have seen more. I mean, I really wanted to like this movie. I might have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll change my mind. But for now, some of these things fell flat for me. I wasn't totally on board with Eddie not really transforming into another beast-like creature like the traditional Jekyll and Hyde was. It was just more his performance, which was great.
Yeah.
Which was great. But when you think Jekyll and Hyde, you want to see something other than just like, oh, I'm evil now, you know? It's, no. That fell a little flat for me. I'm going to give this another shot because, like I said, I really want to like it, and maybe I just need to watch it one more time to really make up my mind about it. Right now, I'm 50-50.
Right.
Yeah. As a part-time Hammer viewer, it felt very much so like they were trying to pay homage as best they could to a Hammer movie. Some of them have been very like hit and miss for me. There have been some Hammer movies that I've seen that were very similar to this film to me, where I just felt like this isn't really grabbing me.
Right.
Not really, like, you know, Eddie Izzard, fantastic. I have same issue Brian has. I would have liked to have seen a transformation. I think there were points when I was like, couldn't tell if the character just got annoyed sometimes or was actually had transformed into this other character.
Right. Same.
And it was like, you know, a little bit into the movie, which isn't very long.
Right.
You.
It was only an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not that long, so it's great. I love it. When I was like, oh, this character is not going to transform, like visually, which is kind of a bummer, which kind of bums me out in the end when there is this kind of Hammer-esque transformation of his protege.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that might have been cool if, you know,
Eddie
we
did
got
that
to
too.
see maybe a flashback or something when they initially transformed into that character. I did like the effect of the cigarette. I thought that was really fun.
Right.
And I like that's how he, you know, they were able to
it wasn't
ingest
a
it or
potion
whatever.
this time.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of. I thought that was
you
kind of
inhale
cool.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, as a whole, I thought it was all right. Anytime I actually thought the kid wasn't too bad. I thought he was, you know, fine. And the end, I don't know what I was expecting. So the little twist at the end, I was like, oh, that's cool. You sneak something like that in there. That was kind of cool. But overall, I don't know. This is a movie I would revisit. But you know, I love performances, and Eddie Izzard's performance is very, very good. She is a great actress. They're phenomenal. So yeah,
nice. All right, so what did we like? Well, I agree with all you guys. Obviously, I said it. Eddie Izzard is phenomenal, and I really would have liked to have seen him do more.
Yeah. What kind of scenes do you think?
I think the problem is that this is, you know, for me, and maybe I'm just old fashioned. Dr. Jekyll needs to change.
Right.
He needs to morph. There's got to be some sort of morphing, and I was kind of wondering, having Eddie Izzard play this trans character, were we going to get a kind of Dr.
Jekyll and Sister and Miss
Sister
right,
Hyde,
or back
Miss
to Mr. Hyde,
kind of where in other words, was this going to be more prominent to the plot as opposed to just, you know, having a trans actor play this character but not really do a whole lot with it.
Right.
And that was kind of disappointing to me. But somebody who just, like you said, Brian, I'm evil now. No, I'm not. Doesn't do it for me. I need a change.
Even something as subtle as like whenever Nina was walking around, like toddling around the house, she had that cane, and they made a big point about the cane because you know the cane had the thing.
Well, I thought he was gonna club somebody with that cane. You know, because that's a classic device.
When Nina becomes Mr. Hyde, Mrs. Hyde, whatever, lose the cane, lose the limp. At least something subtle like that, so you know visually.
Right.
They did when
they did.
Yeah.
Did I miss that?
Remember when they're playing chess?
Yeah.
And he sends him out to go get more alcohol.
Right.
And he lights up.
Right.
And then next thing you know, he like drops the cane.
Oh, and he's kind of dancing around.
And moving around without having a limp.
But that was the only scene. That was the only scene.
I do remember that.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So I would have liked to have seen more like each time, you know, Eddie transformed into the bad Nina, that the cane was gone. That the limp was not there.
I think maybe they sacrificed too much to hang on to that plot point of the end where Nina was pretty much in control the whole time.
Right.
Where like it was a big plot
which
all along.
It's okay, but it's not great. It's like, well, you're like, oh yeah, of course you are, because we know there's an evil side. So when she's like, I was evil all along. Well, yeah, okay.
But I mean, like,
obviously you were.
Like, had they done the transformation thing, like, they wouldn't have been able to hide her in plain sight. for the story purposes.
Yeah,
so I think that's what I mean.
Belongs in something else. I don't know. Like I said, it's just me. For me, the Doctor needs to be the Doctor.
I'm not defending it.
And then like transform, go out, kill some people, come back and not remember what the hell they're doing at first, and then as they realize it, they got to put a stop to it and can't. They got to fight with themselves. And this didn't have that. This was more of that alley ladder thing. There's a good one and there's an evil one. We stay at the castle for the whole thing. It's very confining. There's the danger is just stored all up in that castle.
Yeah,
and that doesn't do
have to
anything
be brought
for me.
there
Exactly. It's not as chilling as
which limits you.
Yeah, I need
That's what I mean. I think they shot themselves in the
Dr. Jekyll
foot
on the
a lot.
prowl. This guy or whatever has got to be on the
even
prowl.
just starting like the whole movie being like taking place after like she's been hide for a long time. Like she's had that in her for a long time. So it's like you don't even see flashbacks. It's really just like newspaper clippings and stuff.
Right at the very beginning.
About how, the pharmaceutical company and how she was big and then she kind of, retreated.
Yeah.
It's like, it would have been cool.
Don't
to
tell.
show all that stuff. Instead, instead
I don't
of
want
like
that glossed over. That's like kind of a pinnacle point in a character. And there's just a lot of walking and talking and sitting and, after a while, like the first like 20, 30 minutes, maybe a little more. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
There's that part where he's hiding in the staircase and she comes out, and this is after she kills the helper,
right?
Who which you don't even see, which is bullshit.
And I didn't like that either.
I don't like that either.
Like,
and that
killed her off way too soon.
That goes with what I was saying before about all these modern tropes of like, don't show it. We'll indicate it. But in a Hammer film, one of the things about Hammer was show everything.
Right.
That's what Hammer did. Hammer showed it all. And, it was almost like a point of exploitation.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this had to be like a smut movie or anything, but it was missing that kind of fun that a lot of the Hammer films, in the past have had.
Yeah, I guess for me, I give them a little bit of flexibility only because it strikes me as a movie that's confined by budgetary issues, probably. I mean, what I read is like Hammer didn't actually make the movie.
Right.
This guy showed his movie, and Hammer was like,
we'll pick that up.
Right. Well,
and
fine.
I think it's close enough to the idea of what Hammer is for Hammer to, whatever they're trying to reestablish for their film company is like, okay, this could be a good start. This is someone who has a pretty marketable name, has a really good following. Hammer has a great following. More of an underground following, not necessarily very mainstream,
That's
but
true.
still a good following. And Eddie Izzard kind of has that same kind of following, this kind of underground.
Honestly, I think that intro where they did the Marvel kind of thing of showing,
awesome.
I like that.
I think it just it set things up for
the bar
something bigger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
than I
because it
thought
kind of
we were
reminds
gonna
you of,
get. It's
of
like,
what Hammer was.
We're gonna get it's like their way of, whether they intended to or not. It was just their way of saying we're gonna give you great movies like these.
Yeah.
Which to me this was not. So, but Eddie Izzard overall, I've been a huge fan. I've always said, Scott and my buddy Scott and I used to watch Dress to Kill all the time, and Scott would always say, this guy would be a great monster or silent villain, silent movie villain. Look at the way he moves and everything,
Oh, he stalks that
He
stage.
stalks the stage, and he's in Shadow of the Vampire. He's excellent in that.
That's
and,
right. I forgot about that.
He's got the chops to play great monsters, and
Yeah, he does.
I think while he gives an awesome performance, I think they underused him as the
He was in one of the
actor
Ocean's
in it.
movies too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
You had said
13?
definitely 13, maybe 12 too, but I know 13.
And Charlie Chaplin in The Cat's Meow, correct?
Oh yes,
Right.
yes.
Excellent, excellent actor.
Girls
Yeah.
in that one, right?
Yep.
I never saw that.
Oh,
It's with
It's
Kirsten
good.
Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst and the
Edward Herrmann.
Edward Herrmann. Yeah.
So very quickly, the other things to wrap up my things that I like. I did like the sets were great. It did have the woods. The opening is awesome. The music is good. The movie has a good presence to it.
Oh yeah.
And that's pretty much it for me.
I liked the other actors too. I
I wish there weren't that many.
Right. It was a small cast, but I liked that, like the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, the junkie.
Oh, see, I didn't
Like
her.
no,
I-
well, that,
she
no,
was
that's
there to not like.
that's the thing is she did a very good job of capturing what someone like that really is.
Yeah, no, that's
and
true.
How
That's
it makes you hate them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think they did a really good job with that. And the kid that played Rob, Scott Chambers, was
His brother?
Yeah. I like him. They didn't make him this like completely good, like, oh, you know, he had this history, but now he's completely turned around. He's a good kid. We have to get the audience on his side. They didn't rely on that too much because they had him do things that he like a person like that really would do. Start snooping around and like not really acting. He's not innocent, even though you're supposed to kind of feel for him and feel like he's redeemed himself somehow. And
so
he's just this innocent kid, you know, needs a job so that he can, you know, see his kid. At the same time, it's like, no, he doesn't have completely.
I'm gonna disagree with you on this a bit because I didn't like him at all. I didn't think he was redeemable, and I think that was part of the problem. I was just sitting around the whole movie waiting for Eddie Izzard to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That was basically, it's like, okay, when
I think I was on the same page
when
as
he's
you.
getting it. There was nothing really appealing about the person to me.
I like the scenes with him, like the two of them, like the chess scene. I really liked.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, but Eddie Izzard was in it to help. You know?
Right.
I mean, anything without him, it was like, okay, but how much time we have left, you know?
Well, and
although he was watching Plan 9 from Outer Space when we first saw him.
There we
so
go.
I got to give a couple of
give him props
points
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of grew on me as the film went on, but he has got to be. I don't want to say he's like a flawed hero because he transforms at the end. He becomes Jekyll because that's what Jekyll wants. A way to transition this, which is kind of lame to a certain extent because I feel like if you're turning into Doctor Jekyll, then it's making you stronger. Why would you need someone to pass that? Oh, Hyde. Excuse me. Yeah. Thank you.
I know, right?
I know,
Like
Jekyll sounds more evil than Hyde does. I've always
it always
did
to me.
Yeah.
It always did to me
because it sounds like Jackal. And a jackal is like an evil-looking
possible.
animal.
It's a jackal.
But yeah, that extra person. Again, it feels like for a movie where they were like, we got this big house, we got Eddie Izzard. What else can we get? Well, we got these other things. Let's try to make it work.
Right.
In that aspect, I think it's it's kind of one of those. It is what it is. The guy, he kind of grew on me a little bit. Where I felt bad for him at the end, I actually did feel bad.
You know, I'm wondering now
I didn't.
if I'm like thinking if it had not been Eddie Izzard, would I have accepted the film more? Maybe because I'm such a big Eddie Izzard fan, I expected.
Did it
something
take you out of
more
the film?
Of a grandiose. Only at the end when he started doing his stand-up. There's a certain way Eddie Izzard does his stand-up.
Yeah, like the way his voice.
Yeah,
his
he
mannerisms,
carries on in his mannerisms,
speech pattern.
his trailing off.
Yeah.
And
When he's narrating like what the plan is.
Yeah, I didn't like
Like
that
he's laying out the
because
master plan.
because for a while I did forget that I was watching somebody that for overall I considered a comedian.
Right.
I mean, this is a great actor. He really is, and he proved it in this movie. But when it came to acting totally evil, like so many people do, they just fall back into the chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
And he kind of does that, except he does it in stand-up form.
Right.
So it's just took me out. That part took me out of it toward the end. That's why I had a hard time with the end. He's giving away the motive as opposed to showing us, we're just
It's like a Bond
told
villain.
everything.
Like a
little
yeah,
bit,
like
yeah.
totally.
pretty much explaining his master plan the
while
whole time.
he's hanging over a pit with
Right.
sharks with laser beams attached to
No,
them.
Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Sorry to interrupt.
I like you guys. I enjoyed the setting. I liked the old creepy manor house, the gothic setting with the bare trees outside. I liked the fact that it was kind of isolated and claustrophobic. Like this guy wasn't out on a rampage like typical Jekyll movies. Stuck inside and just manipulating this poor kid, who I did have a problem with. I wasn't that thrilled with him. I just thought I just don't think he was that strong of an actor to stand up next to Eddie Izzard. And I think the movie suffered for it because when he does his transformation at the end, I'm like, he's just putting on a face now.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't buy that he was this evil Mr. Hyde creature being interviewed at the very end.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. I did enjoy it. I did, especially Eddie Izzard's performance was fantastic. I can't say enough about Eddie. The movie, he basically carried this movie on his back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I thought the music is really fun in this film.
Yeah, that too.
I didn't mind the jump scare stuff. I thought it was fairly effective with the music. I wasn't afraid, but I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. I don't know. We could talk about Eddie Izzard all day, I guess.
There's a time
and we are.
But there's a time for jump scares, and then there's a time when you're just using them because you can't think of anything else to use.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, I've noticed that with a lot of horror films, and after a while, you're just like, oh, we can't scare you, but we can shock you very quickly. So here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, and it's just
Yeah,
you can
I mean,
smell
I
a
didn't
rat
feel like
after
it
a
was
while.
overused, but I there are certain parts where because he is snooping in the house,
Right.
you need that tension, which there really isn't a lot of because the house is fucking enormous. As big as it is very small.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's like a couple of rooms. His room, where they play chess, where the fucking bird is.
Yeah.
I don't understand that bird, but fine, have a bird if you want a bird. Have a bird.
He's allowed to have a bird, or she's allowed to
So
have a
there's
bird.
very little going on there. I did like I said earlier, that little twist at the end. I thought that was pretty fun. I like not expecting things. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. The look of it. I like what I like. Yeah, that's about it. That's it. Yeah.
That's what you
That's
liked.
about it. Yeah.
All right, so what didn't we like? I said it earlier. The big thing was the ending for me.
Yeah.
More so because that actor whose name I can't remember.
Scott
Chambers.
I got to see him change, and the change looked very goofy. It didn't look good.
No.
It looked like very poor CGI. It looked twitchy. It didn't look real.
Oh, so that gave me. It had this practical effect. What can we do with cameras kind of vibe that I felt in a few of the
thought
scenes
so
where
too, yeah.
it seemed like they were trying.
Did it
to
seem to me? It seemed
pay homage
just
in some sense to some kind of classic horror because they do it even with when they do the flashback of the father and when he smokes a cigarette and the thing's just going like crazy, like whatever they're playing with the cameras or stuff. So I felt like if anything that was probably the again from what I have seen biggest attempt at really trying to give you some kind of camera or
see, for
something.
me, it feels like cheating with the camera, where it should be the performer making that transformation. When you're shaking the camera, twitching, or editing it, it's cool. But go back to Frederick Marsh standing in front of a mirror, and that's 1,000 times more powerful than this. And that's just a guy in front of a camera with a couple of color changes, and filter changes or whatever
with makeup.
And but this just seemed like quick last minute. It seemed like we got to do something, so just wave the camera around, and I wanted to see makeup. I wanted to see the actor transform. I didn't want to see the camera transform the actor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. That, and it just, when Eddie Izzard wasn't on screen, it was just kind of boring. I wanted them to get out of the house. I wanted this to kind of spread into that classic London town.
I also liked the
stalking
housekeeper.
streets.
The housekeeper was good, and when she died
Gone too soon.
about a third of the way into the movie,
Yeah.
it was lacking after that.
And
because
we don't even see it.
No, it was all off
See
screen.
it. We don't see Dr. Jekyll clubbing anybody to death. He's got a gun.
Yeah,
They Pulp Fiction.
Like you never get to see her get serious about like, no, you don't know what she really is,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like she spent the whole time you that she's alive, she kind of can't stand this kid. She thinks that he's a lost cause and that she's against him. And you never really see her turn and say like, no, you're gonna die, that kind of thing.
I forgot about her.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah,
See?
right.
Because
Exactly. She was a
that's
very
a
strong
good performance,
character.
but they don't do a whole lot with her.
Yeah, no,
they
not
kill
at
her
all.
off just for, and you don't even see that.
No.
Right.
So again,
no,
it's
all of a sudden she's not there. Where is
Right.
she? I don't know.
So I know Tito loves hour and a half movies. I think it was too short.
Okay.
Because I think it was missing so much of all that stuff that we want to see that like the rest of it would be good if we had that other stuff to kind of fill it up with and explain stuff or show like I think that they should have done more flashbacks if you're going to set it in the time period that it is and where she's been hide for a long time. I want to see her flipping out at a press conference like she start she
Yeah.
like
exactly.
turns and that's kind of what drives her
to be a recluse.
right. Like instead you don't get to see any of that fun stuff. Like you would have been able to fit in more murder and mayhem.
Again, there was too much talking,
and even with
walking around,
and even with the Rob character, like there's a lot. It's all it's you find everything out in dialogue. You don't see anything. There's no hint of the brother. I didn't like the fact that the brother became involved in the heist.
Right.
Oh, I
Like
know,
because you get the idea throughout the whole movie is that he's just a brother like I am.
Who's
to my
looking
brother,
out for him.
Who's looking out for.
I got
his
you this
brother
job.
who
Isn't that great?
got himself into trouble. Exactly. So it doesn't really. I don't know.
Throw it to the wall.
I hated the ending. I hate the idea of passing it on. Like it's this hereditary, disease that the family has, and you're gonna use some type of magic to like voodoo that shit, like the skeleton key.
Yeah,
voodoo that shit.
Voodoo that shit.
Voodoo.
Well, no, have you seen that movie, Skeleton Key?
Kate Hudson, right?
Right.
Once
a long time ago.
And it works in that because it's about fucking voodoo, but like this felt like it was forced, and I didn't like that at all.
I do agree with you on that one. Do you remember? Actually, it's in Dressed to Kill. Eddie Izzard makes fun of the way British actors do movies when there's a lot of talking and pausing in between conversations.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes on. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know. No. Oh, you weren't.
You were.
I suppose I should go." Yes, I think you better have. And he's like, you can't eat popcorn to that. I thought of that bit while watching this. I'm like, this is exactly what Eddie Izzard used to make fun of. There was a lot of that. Between,
that's a good point.
I wanted to be like, look, talk quicker or kill someone. Throw a pie at some point.
No, I agree with Derek that there could have been more kills. I mean, this is a Hammer movie.
Right.
Yes.
There was almost no blood in this movie, which is what Hammer was known for. I mean, blood as red as this Coca-Cola can, and lots of it.
Right.
Three Geeky Dads, sponsored by Coke Zero.
Exactly.
Unofficially.
And there was, like I said, none of it. But I think you could, without making it longer than an hour and a half, I think you could still put that in just by changing different aspects of the story.
Right.
Still keep it, like all the other Hammer movies that we watch are all about an hour and a half, and they still have plenty of that with the monsters and the blood and the boobs and the action and whatnot. Yeah. Granted, it's not, to today's standards, but it's there. Same with, say, the Lon Chaney's Wolfman movie. Hour and a half. You've got transformations, you've got action, you've got kills and all that stuff. Still crammed into an hour and a half with a great story, great characters.
Right.
I just think it could have been
very fast paced.
It could have been beefed up a lot.
This was very, very slow paced.
Right. Even the old 1935 Werewolf of London has a higher body count.
Yeah.
And that's like an hour and 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. This movie was like a character piece, which I like. Like Tito, I like good characters. But they didn't have enough of the good characters on screen all the time. Like, I want to see, if we're going to do that, give me Eddie Izzard in every scene.
Right.
Or at least have him in the background where he's like watching other people, like with that sinister eye, know? And just so his presence is felt in every scene. Stalking people without making a move. It's something he does so well. I just think it could have been tightened up a little bit more. I agree with you, though. There were a lot of missed opportunities in this movie. No transformation, really. No blood, no action. It was all talky. It
felt a lot like House of Darkness.
Yeah.
We watched it, which was excruciating.
House of Darkness was painful.
Justin Long.
House of Darkness is the vampire one. And it was really super.
One you had to have.
Right. I had to have it. I know. It's my fault. I've been known to make mistakes.
You had to have it.
Yeah.
He really likes Justin Long.
Justin Long was fucking horrible in it. He was insufferable.
Justin Long is no Eddie Izzard.
So it's like, and that's the thing is like, I think this is, vastly superior to that movie because you had a main star that is totally appealing and totally entrancing, whereas that one was just like
boring.
It was slow like this is. It was. It had the atmosphere, but it was all atmosphere, that movie. The dialogue sucked. The scenes where they were, it was very heavy on the dialogue, especially for the first portion of that movie, where it's just the two of them in a living room. But this, I think at least this did it better.
This movie for me was, like you said, it was more style over substance.
Right.
More style over substance.
Yeah.
Very moody, very atmospheric,
Agreed.
but not much in the way of action.
I think, Mark probably hits it on the head the best, where I think they have this really good idea. This guy's making a movie. I'm going to do Jekyll and Hyde. How can I do it? A trans person. What if I can get Eddie Izzard? Amazing.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm going to write this movie. They're writing the movie. Oh, but like you say, it's passed genetically. And Izzard doesn't have any children. I got to get a guy. I'll write that into the... Okay, he's going to get a guy, and then he's going to pass it with his cigarettes. Okay, we're in the house. He's got this person. Oh, but nobody's died. Oh, we got to kill this person off. Why?
Right.
Somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
And then we got to find a way to get more people in the house to die. Right? Because a cool idea might have been, if you're going to have it that secluded, like a Downton Abbey.
Right.
The people who work in the kitchen, the valets.
Right.
Like they have this
He's got a whole
extended
staff.
staff of people that live in the house.
That would be cool.
And there's a lore like, are you sure you want to work here? Sometimes they go disappearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
What was that movie?
There's been
Ready or
maids that
Not?
have disappeared.
Remember the movie Ready or Not with the big family in the house?
Oh,
With
yes.
and they kept accidentally killing off the maid.
Kept killing the maids.
Well, they're trying to kill the
or they
the
get deliveries
fiancé.
of food every like 2 days, right? So like the delivery person or and I didn't like the fact that they like so the junkie, she had a group of hooligans that she was hanging out with.
Yeah.
But they didn't turn out to be the ones that came to the house.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
instead they were the ones that beat him up.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost wanted to see like
somebody get revenge.
Right. Like what if she had kind of like seen on a camera that he was getting beaten up, and then she goes out there and hide for him and kills this group of kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that makes more sense to me.
See, I thought they were kind of leading with that at one point, a kind of if I can't have them, no one can kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing. She kind of did the Dracula thing. She just hung around in the castle. That kid could have gotten away.
Oh yeah.
That, the amount of danger wasn't really that eminent. All he had to do was be like, see ya, and run.
Yeah.
Even
Agreed. It was very much like Dracula.
She can't chase him. She cannot catch up to him.
No.
So,
the thing was, they made him so desperate that he needed this job.
Yeah, I don't care how desperate you are. At some point, you're going to notice shit going down.
Oh, yeah, no, agree.
Or play that scene, make that scene where he does try to escape. She turns into hide for him, and you see Eddie Izzard fucking like running like a monster.
Exactly. That would be awesome.
and capturing him and bring him back to the house.
Yeah, show him that,
would've been awesome.
show that there is no escape.
Right.
You know, you are trapped.
Like prove to us that our theories about this movie are wrong. Like,
we could have made a better one.
We could have made a better one. Yeah. We'll have to get Eddie Izzard and see if we can remake this.
Call him up, see what he thinks.
Were there other things that you didn't like?
That I didn't like?
Yeah.
I mean, plenty, but they've all basically...
How did you feel about the whole idea of like passing on the hide to
the
new? Because it wasn't even like
I just thinking like she just got him hooked on drugs is all I could think of.
Right.
Like, this is a funny if it's a metaphor, it's a
or an
funny
allegory.
one.
But I think the idea,
funny.
but I think the idea was that it was the actual hide, being transferred instead of just like the disease or
what's
the
inside of
right.
Well, I
like
guess
bringing out his hide instead of
right.
it's hide.
Yeah,
what's trapped inside of you. And
right.
I don't.
Which I can't
say that I'm super familiar with the story of Jekyll and Hyde, outside of the fact that it's a person that turns into another person because they take this thing. So if they're playing this as we have these cigarettes, when you smoke one, it unlocks something inside of you that's very primeval or like animalistic.
Right.
Then okay, I could see that, but it's not addressed ever. Is Dr. Jekyll aware of what's happening? It doesn't seem like this person is, because they fire the kid and then they're like, no, you're hired back again. Right? But that was Hyde's plan all the time, was to have the kid be there so he could transform into the new Hyde. So why flip out? Why fire him?
And that's where things get convoluted.
That's where it gets crazy. Where it's just like, well, I got this story. Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go?
Kind of wrote themselves into a corner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
right. Seriously,
you try to throw too much into it.
Yeah,
and you get this great actor to play this part, and they do a great job. They really did.
But they're confined.
But there's only so much
to that room.
There's only so much.
Do you remember when I brought up the Spencer Tracy version of? I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one. It's Spencer Tracy and Lana Turner. Anyway, Spencer Tracy kind of does the same thing as Eddie Izzard, but to less effect. He just kind of pretends to be crazy. You know, they push up the eyebrow, maybe do a little bit of eye bags under there. It's still Spencer Tracy. There's a lot of talking in that one, and while it looks beautiful, it's kind of a drag. It's kind of boring, but at least Spencer Tracy went out as Hyde and prowled the area. as Dr. Jekyll, he would meet people, and one of them being Ingrid Bergman, who plays pretty much a prostitute in this. And when Dr. Jekyll sees her, she, as Hyde, he remembers and goes after her. And that's what I think is cool. When if you meet somebody as as Hyde, if Hyde has a liking to you or hates you and wants you dead, he's gonna go and find you. Yeah. And that's what's cool to me.
A cool scene might have been a Jekyll and Hyde in the mirror, camera flip, where they're debating like the value of this kid, not wanting to ruin him.
Yeah,
No,
and that's
I need
kind of
him.
implied in the movie poster. If you ever saw the movie poster to this, it's like
It's
a
the
cracked
mirror
mirror.
with the
Of,
crack.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and Eddie Izzard's face is kind of like all, two different angles.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Some of that would have been cool. I like the
Right.
idea of them
I
fighting
agree.
the internal struggle.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I really like the Hulk is right there. Banner is aware when he's inside the Hulk of what's happening.
Hey, how come we didn't choose the Hulk
Hulk is
in our
I thought somebody
appetizer
was.
section?
and
I
then
didn't even think to.
I had him as a backup, but
I
then I
didn't
didn't,
even
say
think
it.
to.
Oh, you should have.
Wow.
But the idea of that is really appealing to me, where that they are internally struggling for this person, the body itself.
Right.
And there's not enough of that for me. Even if, honestly, it could have been a one-person show.
Yeah.
With fucking Eddie Izzard sitting in a room just fucking talking to themselves for an hour and a half, and I might have liked it more.
And somebody comes knocking on the door and just kills.
Every once in a while, somebody
She
dies.
turns into Hyde, kills him, and then
Oh, why'd you have to do that?
turns back to Jekyll.
Yeah, then they go back.
I
to
told
Hyde.
you to cut it out. It
Now
could
we
have been
got-
like Eddie Brock and the symbiote and that happy shit sitcom movie.
I'm not digging the hole this
You
time.
know?
You're digging this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I ain't
It's
digging
fun.
the
It could
hole.
be fun.
I ain't digging the fucking hole. You're
digging
digging
this
the hole.
fucking
Where are the shovels?
You throw doo-doo baby?
All right. So, closing thoughts for this movie. Would you see it? Would you not see it? I'm going to say see it because very rarely will I not recommend a movie unless I
Really hated it?
Really hated it.
Yeah.
I don't hate this movie. There are things that I like about it enough. See it for Eddie Izzard, if nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's no
say
Skinnamarink.
See this movie. No, it is not Skinnamarink. Definitely not.
Right.
It's no Freddy versus Jason, but what are you going to do?
That movie's more entertaining.
That
to me.
movie. What, then this movie? I would watch this movie over Freddy versus Jason. I'd
wow.
watch anything. I'd watch
Probably like the same
Skinnamarink
runtime.
over Freddy.
Tonight on
versus
Crossfire.
Jason. Yeah. I say,
I
let him watch.
I don't think I could watch Skinnamarink over Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, I could.
That's-
I could.
Oof.
Stay tuned after the show. I'll tell you why. I'm not going to
Oh, I
bore
thought you were
the-
going to say,
I'm
look,
not
I
gonna-
know what we're watching. Skinnamarink.
No, I wouldn't do that to you guys. But yeah, overall, I say check it out. I wasn't really impressed with it, but you guys made some good arguments here, so you guys at home might find something appealing about it and might like it. So check it out.
Right. Same. I mean, I would say check it out just solely for Eddie Izzard because he was amazing in it. I think I think the biggest problem was that I was so excited for this movie.
Right.
The premise, the fact that it was him, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I can't wait to see this. I
Yeah.
didn't even see a trailer.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
just, I
There's
gotta
a
see
reason
that.
why.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But
So-
it had been like teased for a long time.
Right. And then it came out overseas. And we couldn't get it. I was like, what?
And it was
I want
like
to see this.
Everybody was saying it's a return to form for
Right.
Hammer. It's
Right.
a new Hammer film. The
Yeah.
Hammer Company is back. Hammer. And we love our Hammer. So we were like, all right, it's got Eddie Izzard as Dr. Jekyll.
And I didn't realize until after we saw it that they really weren't involved. It was just the distributor.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
So,
'cause-
all right. So Hammer has been putting out a handful of films
Right.
over the last
I was
decade
gonna
or
say,
so.
which
like
ones-
The Lodge, The Woman in
but
Black.
is it theirs? Like, are they?
I don't know. That's where it gets
Because The
foggy.
Lodge, The Woman in Black.
There was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You can look for them online. But yeah, it gets murky because now they're calling it Hammer. It's a John Gore company,
Right.
whoever he is.
Well, they want to emphasize it more because they had that intro. again.
Right. No, I get that. But I mean, they were still making movies before, but it
They
wasn't
were,
a John Gore company.
But was it just
Hammer.
not as connected to Hammer?
I have
as it
no
was?
idea.
See, you got to.
I think maybe
idea.
I think that title was maybe that's the return to form they're talking about.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
because they came up
blew
with
their
that,
load
that
in the
cool
title
Marvel
sequence and
that
had-
cool Marvel style
Manual.
intro.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at this. Look
Yeah.
at this intro. Look at all these great movies.
Yeah.
Are we going to make one as good? No.
No, but remember those?
I remember those. Those were really good.
It was very cool. So I actually did think that was pretty cool. It was very like Twilight Zone-y. Like
Yeah.
if they had like a TV show
Right.
where it just went into right, that whoever's in that film was just watching the intro that turns into
I think that's what the new Hammer
I
should
thought that
do
was
is
pretty
bring
cool.
back Hammer House of Horrors
Yes.
and make those
Because
like,
they did have a TV show.
Right.
It's kind of like a Twilight Zone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
they were
had
like
they had a show
hour,
called-
like hour long.
They had two different shows. One was Hammer House of Horror, and one was Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that.
I didn't see
The
that
Hammer
one.
House of Horror was more popular.
Yeah.
And I
That had
think
some cool stuff.
each of them only lasted a season or two.
And there's some really good ones.
From what I
There's
hear,
some
I
really good
I
episodes.
still have yet to see any of them myself.
All right.
Is this true?
So,
Brian.
I'd say I recommend it. I'd say see it because see it if you love Hammer, see it if you love Eddie Izzard. Even if it's just out of curiosity, check it out. Eddie Izzard still delivers
Right.
a fantastic performance in this movie, despite the film's other shortcomings and like we said, missed opportunities. So still give it a shot. We did, and we came up mixed, I think.
Yeah.
And I should we should add this too. It doesn't like the whole trans thing isn't really even talked about.
It's really not.
It's nothing that like
and
anybody
if you know
who-
Eddie Izzard, it's just
Right.
Eddie Izzard in drag again.
So I mean, if there's people that like I want to see it, but I don't want to.
There was a lot of that online.
Stay off
Right.
the internet.
There was
Right,
a lot
and
of
that's
that
the thing.
online.
It's like all these idiots on the online.
Yeah.
Like you didn't
Oh, I'm not
clearly you didn't
watching
watch the
that.
movie
No.
because it's they
Yeah.
mention it once and it's the newspaper clipping.
Exactly.
And they don't even talk about her being trans again. And then the flashback, it's a little girl.
Right.
So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
did they forget that they
that's
did the whole
true.
trans
Yeah.
thing, or is
Yeah.
it like
I don't know if Dean said this. Somebody said this last week. It was like the perception of who she saw herself
That's
as.
true. That's
Not
true. Because
who
that
she-
was through her
Right.
mind.
They actually were.
So in her mind, she's
Right.
now a
Yeah.
woman, so she's picturing
she's
herself as a
picturing
little
herself
girl.
as a little
So
girl.
honestly, it felt a little deceptive
Yeah.
when I was watching it, when they had the newspaper clipping, and I was like, oh, interesting. What's this movie going to be?
Right.
And it doesn't get addressed. And I mean, I think it can be done in like a respectful way, but still be kind of interesting. Like even if they had included more of that aspect of the transition
Right.
In Hyde's life,
Yeah.
that might have been more interesting than what I was watching than what I was watching.
I think that would have worked better had they done what you were saying, and they did it where Hyde was a guy, like where Eddie Izzard is a trans person, and she lives as Nina, but then when she becomes Hyde, this personality takes over, and maybe Hyde is angry because it's
He's
the
now
male
a woman.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's what is it really about for many trans? It's discovering their true selves, like
Right.
who
Right.
they wanted to be all along. That whole thing should have been if we were going to have that focal point in the movie, that should have been addressed more.
Right.
Yeah.
That should have been the movie, whether it was a woman trapped as a man or a man trapped as a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that should have been the center of this. Then you could have gone in all kinds of different.
and that
directions
kind of
with it.
takes away from the movies, if you want to call it like a pro-trans message, because now you're saying that I really don't want to be trans, and it kind of takes away from that. Like, the true self is fighting, be like, oh, you changed me,
Yeah.
and I'm fighting back. It's like, no, I can see why they didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been a whole other can of worms.
Again, one of those things where he was like, I got a few ideas. I like them. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, actually,
Which
how do
ones?
I do
What do you
this?
like? I like it all. Just throw it all in together.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know that you
We got a big blender.
You don't
It's got a
need
Hammer
that,
logo on it.
You don't need that newspaper clipping. It could just be millionaire recluse.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever Hyde is now
Right.
living, a solitary life. I will say, and this kind of ties into what I recommend it, streaming has really screwed up the way we watch things. What I mean when I say that is there was a point in time when you knew when something was direct to video. This is the direct to video version of a stream, right? But everything's a fucking stream now.
Right.
So unless you know that there's a major studio behind it, then you're like, okay, there's money behind this. It's going to a stream. Okay, I get it. But now everything is a stream. Anything could be, I can fucking download a movie on Tubi tomorrow.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you can watch it. Right? And especially like some of the stuff that we have watched over the time that I've been on the show. It's like, and occasionally those directed to DVD, VHS, they get a big star, or somebody notable.
Yep.
And this was one of those, like, now when you watch a stream, you don't know. You don't know, like, how much effort or how much money was invested in this thing.
Right.
Because,
Like, is this a real movie, or is this a movie that, like, a very, like, small budget?
Something you would have found in the back of
Just
the
been
shelf at the
scrolling
video
around.
store.
Yeah, right. Potentially.
Yeah.
Right. They get a really, like I said, that you have, I think, a winning combination. You have this great underground following for the Hammer community. You have this great kind of underground following for Eddie Izzard. You put those things together, you can make this really cool, potentially cult classic film. It doesn't hit. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't.
No?
I think there's better stuff out there to watch. Save your hour and a half. There's a few. Honestly, there's only been 2 Hammer movies that I didn't like, of all the ones I've seen. Even
1 Million BC.
the 7.
The
one?
the 7 Golden Vampires.
That one I put too much pressure on myself to like because
Yeah.
it was a kung fu movie.
Right.
But even that I liked. There are better, like, now I'm thinking, like, I probably would have rather seen a Hammer film than have seen this film. Something new that I hadn't seen.
Yep.
Well, there's plenty, Tito.
Right.
We'll
But
get you
yeah,
there.
so I would recommend to our audience, if you don't watch Hammer, if you've seen everything, fuck it, watch it. Why not? If you haven't, watch a different Hammer movie. Watch something with somebody else in it.
Nice. Absolutely.
Very true.
Well said.
All right. So that's
What
Dr.
is,
Jekyll.
That's Dr. Jekyll. It's mixed bag review. See it, don't see it.
1 out of 4 recommends.
1 out of 4 dads recommend it. That's math.
4 out of 1.
What's making our geek flag fly, gentlemen? I actually have nothing. So, whoa.
No?
Oh, really?
It's been a very busy last couple of weeks getting the kids ready for school.
Yes.
Trying to get work done on the books. So I've been watching old stuff I've talked about many times.
Okay.
How about you?
Nothing new. I haven't really watched anything new, but because I haven't really had the time. But I've been buying up comic books like crazy. Different issues, especially Cassandra Cain stuff. I'm looking to get some more signatures.
You love her so much. Why don't you fucking marry her?
I would in a heartbeat.
What would Stephanie Brown think, though, if you did?
boy.
Well,
Not cool.
She's my side piece.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, she's my side piece.
You're Gumad? You're Gumad?
Then Kirsten Dunst comes knocking at your door.
Then I'm in trouble. I wasn't gonna do too much with the artist stuff and getting things signed, and then I just started like realizing there's so much good art, and I'm redoing my office at home, so I want to display it. I definitely want to put things on display, and you know, it's a problem. I have got a problem, but that's
We all do.
My addictive personality.
Yeah.
It happens.
We all do. I mean, you can look around this room. My wife is still giving me shit for
I
half
never
of the
noticed.
stuff that's on display.
No.
Never noticed.
Never noticed, huh?
Yeah.
It happens. Brian, what's making your geek flag fly?
Let's see. The only thing that I can really remember that I saw over this past weekend, and it was a long weekend. I took, with the holiday, I extended it. I took Friday and Tuesday off, so I had a 5-day weekend.
Damn, sir.
I did.
Wow.
And the only thing that I really got to watch was the Fall Guy movie.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's on Paramount.
No, Peacock.
Peacock. I always get those Peacock.
Yeah.
I always get those two mixed up. And I was disappointed.
Oh, no.
For one thing, they're showing the extended version. It's 2.5 hours long,
Are
Tito.
they Zack Snydering it?
I don't know how long this movie was in the movie theater, but I can see why it went to streaming as quick as it did.
Yeah, it wasn't there very long.
It was in the movie theater for like 2 weeks, and they already pushed it out to streaming. And not a hell of a lot happens in that 2.5 hours, man. It was kind of long and boring. Like, Kathy had been dying to see this movie for the longest. She was like chomping at the bit, like, when's it on? And we finally got to watch it when Quinn was sleeping over at your house, Mark, with your daughter. And we watched it, I think it was Saturday night, and it just would not end.
Not a lot of falling?
Well, I was falling asleep. But
Ryan Gosling, who's the girl?
Emma Blunt. Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
And what's her name? Waddington? Is his agent manager?
Yeah.
You know the one
Hannah
from
Waddington,
Waddington.
right? Yeah.
From Ted Lasso. And
I love her.
Yeah, same here. Same here. But it was predictable. It was not very funny. The dialogue was stupid. There wasn't a hell of a lot of action.
That's a bummer.
It was. Yeah, it was. Kathy asked me how I liked it when it was over, and I could tell she wasn't that into it either because she was like reading and looking at stuff on her phone throughout the whole movie, which she never does if she's really into a movie, especially one that she had been looking forward to.
That's
for
how
so long.
I knew you weren't 100% with the movie last week when we were watching Doctor
Because
Jekyll.
I was on my phone for a little bit too. Like I said, it was talky.
Yeah.
I sound like
There's a lot
Eddie
of
Izzard.
good people in this movie too.
There is, and it's
Aaron
a
Taylor
shame.
Johnson's in it. Teresa Palmer.
Yeah.
Winston Duke.
Yes, Winston Duke is in it. He's good in it. Yeah. And she asked me how I liked it when it was all said and done, and I said it's about an hour too long.
Yeah.
Is Lee Majors in it? Does he
Lee
make a
Majors is in
cameo?
it. Lee Majors is in the post-credit scene. Wow. Yes, he does have a cameo, and so does Heather Thomas.
Oh, Heather Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Heather
love
Thomas.
She was in The Fall Guy with Lee Majors.
she's the
She
blonde.
was the blonde
Heather
from the
Thomas.
TV show.
Oh,
Crazy
that's
blue
right. Because
eyes.
I forgot that it was a show.
Yeah, same
was
with
on
Kathy.
something.
She's like, "This was a TV show." Yes.
Oh, yeah. Used
Yes,
to
it was.
fall from the building in the opening credits.
They even
like
sing the
that
theme
show
song.
Remember that
a lot.
song? Well, I'm not the guy.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm the
so.
unknown stunt man.
Yeah.
This movie might be like 20 years too late.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, agreed.
Nobody cares about stunt guys.
No,
Not
exactly.
anymore.
It's all CGI now.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
does stunts.
That would have been a fun movie.
What's
The
that?
character was just CGI'd into every scene. Right?
Free guy, fall guy. It's all
Yeah.
coming together.
Yeah, just CGI. a fucking-
They could have just used AI and recreated Lee Majors.
It's free fall guy.
Dude, why the hell not?
right?
You could do it.
Free falling.
They just come right out of our head, guys.
So this wasn't making your geek flag fly.
It's
And-
the only thing that I've seen, except for I did get to see Alien Romulus last night.
what did
I
you think of
finally got to see it. I enjoyed it, but it was like you said, it's like they took all the best parts of all the other Alien movies and threw it into this one, including some of the callbacks with the lines and stuff. I'm like, why is he saying, "Get your hands off of her"?
What did you
bitch?"
think of the, without giving it
yeah.
away,
Some of that.
what did you think of the ending? The big reveal.
I didn't like the big reveal.
Yeah, me neither. Okay.
No, I didn't like it.
I haven't
No,
seen
sir, I
it
didn't
yet.
like
I
it.
still want to see it.
No, sir.
But it was good. I'm not going
good
to say it
enough
was the
to
worst.
say.
It was better than Prometheus, and it was better than Covenant.
Yes, it was.
I'll say that.
Interesting. You know what? I saw a bunch of lists of like videos where they were like ranking all of them. I didn't like Prometheus.
I didn't either, and I wanted to.
I didn't either.
And I saw a bunch of rankings where
lot
it
of
was like
people like
ranked
Prometheus.
really high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Like 3
Ooh.
better
I
than
can't see
Prometheus.
how. Boy,
It's
yeah.
usually
I
the
like
shit on
4
that
better
movie.
than
Yeah.
Prometheus.
I liked 4. I liked
I'll take
Alien.
4
I'll
over
take
Prometheus.
Alien 3 over Prometheus.
Yeah,
Agreed.
me too. I thought Covenant was whatever.
I don't think I've seen Covenant.
Yeah, Covenant was just more of Prometheus.
Yeah.
It was like,
McBride.
yeah,
Yeah, it was more Prometheus.
yeah. It was more to do with like.
Is the
what-
girl from Covenant in this one?
No,
Is that
No.
the
no,
oh, all
nobody
right.
from.
All right, I thought the female lead. looked
Did you
familiar.
see?
I thought
Let
she
me
was in
ask
one.
you. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah,
You
so
saw
I've
the
seen the
movie.
movie, right?
You've seen the movie.
Yeah,
They show everything.
yeah. There was nothing
in that
new.
trailer.
There was
Oh,
nothing
then I
new.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like the movie.
Yeah,
The only thing they don't show is this big reveal at the end, which is very disappointing.
yeah.
Can't wait.
Tito, how about you? What's making your geek flag fly, if anything? Seems like a low.
I know you guys are bringing me down.
We're bringing you
Yeah,
down.
bring us up,
man.
Tito.
Bring us up.
I don't know how, but
No one does anymore.
you know, football starts tomorrow. We got
Hey!
fantasy going. I'm looking for another championship. We're gonna get Derek a championship, whether he
right.
likes it or
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
We're gonna figure this out. We're going for the gold, baby. But football starts tomorrow. I'm very excited about football. Fall.
Yep.
I like wearing hoodies.
Fall is here.
I like
Fall
hoodies.
is
I like
here.
boots. I like fucking
Who's playing tomorrow?
jeans.
Thursday
Kansas
night.
City and Baltimore.
Oh,
So
It's a replay of the Super Bowl.
Fuck Baltimore. There, I said it. Fuck Baltimore.
if you have to.
Yeah, they suck.
Manually?
Baltimore.
No, not Manuel.
Not
Manuel.
Baltimore.
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 I'm trying to think of anything new I've seen. I haven't really watched anything new.
It's been all
Yeah.
old stuff. I've
Same
been
here.
Rewatching the Munsters.
I
with my kids and-
rewatched The Trouble with Harry last night because
Yes,
that's one of my
that's a good
favorite
one.
fall movies, and now we're into September, and I had to watch that one because it's just like quintessential fall movie. The foliage in that film is awesome.
I
Filmed in
rewatched
Vermont.
Lords of Salem.
Alfred
Like I
Hitchcock.
started it on Voodoo, and then I realized
You talked about that movie last week or the week before.
No, I did. I mean,
Yeah.
Salem's Lot. I'm sorry.
oh, okay.
I started that one, and then I realized, I have the Steelbook edition with the commentary. Sweet. So I stopped it on Voodoo after like 2 seconds and put that in like a nerd. Nerd.
Did you get a
I think
lot
we
of
all
good
we all
info?
do that a lot. we start movies and then we don't.
Yeah,
we're like,
finish it.
I don't really want to watch it. I did
Yeah.
I did with Your Highness last night. 'Cause
Oh,
I was
did you?
high and I
Oh,
was
that
like,
was you? You were,
yeah, I'll watch that.
You were high for highness?
Yeah, and then I'm like, and I didn't even I don't even think I got.
It's more
5
like
minutes
My
in.
Highness.
I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it for this movie. I gotta go up to bed.
I do that with like commercials.
I got the munchies and
Like
ate the remote.
10:30. I'm like, no.
If I watch something with commercials, I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this with commercials? I
Yeah.
just put it on Netflix. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
I own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for some reason, I always just want to watch it on the fucking TV.
Yep. It's
You don't
easier,
wanna-
isn't
you
it?
don't wanna
But
go
we've
put the
gotten
DVD.
lazy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
No, we have not gotten lazy.
All right, I have
not.
I have.
Yeah, I have.
Because I have a lot of these movies over here on Blu-ray and
There you
DVD
go,
that I
and you
could
just
easily
can't.
grab and throw in. But I
Absolutely.
mean,
You'd rather
oh
sit
look,
through
it's
the ads.
it's $5.99 to
Right,
purchase it
I know.
digitally. Now I don't have to get off my ass for anything.
Liam
total
went to the
sense.
library and borrowed a Lego DC movie,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, how are you gonna watch it? And Siobhan goes, well, you've got PlayStations.
Yeah.
I'm like, my PlayStation 5 is the one that's hooked up, and it's a digital only.
Oh,
I don't-
that's right. You
I don't
that.
have the disc version.
You don't have a slot.
No, so
You don't have the 4?
no,
anymore?
so no, I have the 4 and the 3.
But they're not hooked up.
and then like it was trying to get me to update stuff, and it
oh,
and then
you hadn't plugged
and
in
then
for
it
a
wouldn't. The
while.
3 wouldn't play the audio, so I finally was just like, "Fuck it, I'm renting it. I'll just rent the goddamn movie."
Yeah.
Because originally they used to have all those on Max,
Yeah.
and now they're not on Max anymore
yeah.
either.
Oh, really?
I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck DC's doing.
It's weird. No, well, because HBO kind of changed the streaming, so Max is. There's like the HBO side of Max.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a DC side of Max. There's all. It's weird.
Yeah.
Doing
And now
what
Max
they
is
do.
bundled with Disney. How are they in bed together?
Yeah, you can.
Have
get
you seen
Disney
that?
gonna buy Max?
Yeah,
Really?
you can get a
Disney-
Hulu, Max, and Disney Plus bundle now.
Oh, I thought it was Hulu, ESPN.
It used to be.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. Now somehow Max is involved.
I still have that version.
Jesus.
The
What's that?
times,
So Marvel
they
and
are-
well,
Well, they're not playing. It's a bundle. I mean, they're
Yeah.
still separate streaming
Right.
services, but those were two I never thought I'd see on the
Yeah.
same ticket.
right. Warner Brothers.
It's gonna merge into one eventually.
Eventually.
It will.
Whatever
That's
happened
evolution.
with Paramount? Paramount was up for sale. Didn't they say, what was it, Skydance bought them? The movie companies? Wasn't it Skydance that bought
I like-
Paramount
I like
recently?
I thought
Skydance
Skydance was
logo.
just a subsidiary of
So-
Paramount.
The Scheinhardt Wig.
I
Was
thought
it?
Yeah, I thought it was a small.
So
I
they
thought
bought
Skydance-
themselves?
No, I thought Skydance was like a smaller
Oh,
production company.
I have no idea who
I always
Skydance
did
is.
too.
Yeah.
Because they have that really cool intro. with
'Cause
the-
Yeah.
Paramount was
like,
Viacom,
out of the
right?
water.
Yeah, Viacom used to be Paramount. Yep.
Oh, which is like MTV. Comedy
Yes,
Central.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I remember reading that they had shut down like Paramount Television's division,
Yeah.
which was making like the Jack Reacher show,
Right.
and a bunch of
Evil.
other shows for like streaming services. So they don't know what's going on with those now. So it's all
Oh,
up in the air.
I didn't know they did Reacher.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
that was one of the big ones because I'm like, oh fuck, I watched that one. I love that show.
Yeah.
There's Aquaman in it.
That's
They,
right.
they don't update enough
Or
either.
Dove.
No.
Paramount and Peacock both. They don't put
Yeah.
new stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peacock has the classic
well,
monster movies back.
And
in
I
the-
Paramount
hate-
does if you like the Star Treks because
Yeah.
they're always putting out new stuff. That's
Right.
their bread and butter.
Right.
But
bread.
But then meanwhile, other franchises they don't have all of the
No,
installments.
they don't.
Which is like
yeah,
the whole reason why I signed up for Paramount originally.
was for the Mission Impossibles.
Well, I had all the Mission Impossibles, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They got
Yeah.
all the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah,
all
but then you look and it's
all
only
the
like
Indiana
the
Jones
even
and all
ones.
this and yeah. Now it's like so.
All right,
That's it. That's all I
well,
got.
There we go.
there you go. Anybody
Our-
still listening?
Our geek flag
There we
section
go.
turned into
All
a
right.
rant. Look at that.
Sorry.
Let's make our geek flags rant. Hey, we actually had more exciting geek flag recommendations in other episodes, and if you want to check these episodes out, Brian, where can they go?
Mark, they can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The
number 3.
GDpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons where, if you are not a subscriber yet, hit one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an upcoming episode. Also, at the website or wherever you get your podcasts, you can rate and review the show. A 5-star rating and a review go a long, long way to help keep us a bit further forward from the rest of the podcasting pack. And most importantly, it helps other people to find us while they're searching for great geeky content like us. And let's see, our social media presences are also linked to the website. We can be found at Facebook, Twitter, now X, Instagram, and our audio can be found weekly on YouTube as well. And we encourage you to check that out and like and subscribe where you can. And we also have a Ko-fi page where if you like the show and you would like to make a small donation, it would be greatly appreciated. Please and thank you, because as we say, podcasting is not cheap. I think I've pretty much covered all the bases there, gentlemen.
Definitely.
So with that, back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me as always. And thank you out there for everybody for listening for Three Geeky Dads. I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying goodnight and keep watching the skies, because how else are the aliens supposed to find you?
Wave that geek flag.
To probe you.
Yeah, in the butt.
In the butt.
In the butt.
In the butt.
That's how they'll find
But
he's the shocker. He shocks people.
Two in the goo, one in the poo. Two in the pink, one in the
stink.
Oh. I saw a clip of this guy. He had a golf glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was two pink fingers and then a brown finger. And the guy's like, "What's up with your glove?" And he's just going like that. And he's like, "Oh, that's gross." It used to be a classy game.
I was going to say, golf is classy.
Yeah, it used to be.
This is golf, for God's sake.
Tito's bringing the class back to golf.
That's right.
Not me.
No. Tito doesn't even wear pants sometimes.
That's true.
Donald Duck's is golf.
They're too constricting.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Oh, Mark, you are a funny guy.
Oh, you're the living end, aren't you? Hey. Watch it. Hey now, watch it.
Oh, hey, guy.
It's going to be a short podcast tonight. I feel like we're going to say everything we need to say.
Say what you need to say.
Which means that's good. It gives Brian less to edit, and
That's
we
right.
have time to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Brian.
Why am I all stuffed up?
Why are you stuffed up? You can't be doing that in the mic. You sound like a coke addict.
Is it the house?
I don't know. I don't.
Because I noticed
I don't
the
think
last
so.
few episodes you've been really sniffy.
Yeah.
We think you're on cocaine.
Yeah, we didn't want
No,
to say.
I'm not.
Well, we didn't. We're upset that you didn't bring enough of the whole podcast.
I wish.
Are you working for Colombia or something?
Drugs?
Hey, man.
Derek, do we have to talk to you about drugs?
It'd be a lot cooler if you were. But, unfortunately.
If you don't talk to your Derek's about drugs, who will?
This is your Derek. This is your Derek on drugs.
Bing!
Any questions?
I see you got the machine that goes bing, bing. Get the most expensive machine in case the administrator stops by. All right. 3 sniffing dads.
Sorry. I'm
No, it's all right. We'll just be 3 coked out dads. And meet our supplier, Tito. That's not fair, but you were here last.
very
so
stereotypical, Mark.
That is stereotypical.
You guys were on drugs way before I got there.
That's true. You just added to it. Thank you, Brian. Well said.
It's all in the foam now.
Push it around.
I'm going to be smelling this one for the rest of the night.
Share this with everybody. Everybody.
Just a touch of love. Just a touch of love.
Oh, God. That's from
CNC
Sister Act.
CNC Music Factory.
Do they do that song, too? Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was one of my first cassettes from
That's
Columbia House.
when the
was
nuns are all getting out of
CNC.
the convent and they're cleaning the place up. They're rapping with the hip-hop people or dancing with the hip-hop fly girls. Like, real life.
Right.
All right. Get my little religious pamphlet here.
Oh, do you have your cheaters?
Yeah. You got your copy of Watchtower over there, but you have your cheaters?
I got my cheaters? Yeah, I got my cheaters. My cliff
so you
notes.
can see the fucking words.
I got my cliff notes. Man.
Yeah, but you're going to be able to read them?
No, I can read them.
All right, you
I can
sure?
read 'em. Yeah.
Okay.
I tried.
Excuse me, have you accepted Mike McCreena as your personal Lord and Savior?
If not, you really should. I make a great lemonade. Gail swallows.
She does?
That's gross. Doofy. I went into Doofy mode.
Yeah.
You got it, right? Did you just flip me off? You went like this, sir.
Yeah, I went like this.
No, you went like that. I started clearing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't think so.
All right, are we ready?
right.
Let me do the joke, will you?
Let's
Hurry
go.
up.
Go
Hurry
ahead,
up.
Boo.
Hey guys. Hey, boo boo.
Hey. Stupid.
We're recording, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording.
I think this joke's gonna suck, boo boo.
What was that? His son,
I don't think so.
Yogi and
Yogi?
Boo.
I think they were just friends.
Yeah, they were
they're
just
buddies.
friends. Yeah.
That's kind of weird, though.
Yeah.
Hey, little buddy.
He's
Like
out
a
with the younger.
lot older than Boo Boo. Boo was
was
like
shot
No, he was a lot taller.
Was he like a little homunculus or?
Homunculus.
It was a bear cub.
Yeah, which is weird, right?
I don't know. I don't know if he was a cub or just a smaller bear. Like
I always thought he was like a cub.
yeah,
Oh, that's gross.
that is creepy.
Is it Uncle Yogi? That would make sense if it was Uncle Yogi.
It'd be just as creepy.
And my
Yeah.
nephew Boo Boo.
Just as bad as Uncle Touchy.
Dr. Feelgood. You guys are gross. Selling the name of Yellowstone Park. Or Jellystone Park, rather.
Take a peek in my picnic basket.
Damn,
Higher or
son.
lower?
Oof, damn.
That's it. That's
Higher?
here.
Right here?
Yeah, you gotta get in that shit. You gotta swallow
I'm pretty
that shit.
close, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty close.
Don't wanna close my eyes.
Listen, for you, Boo, I'll do anything.
Thanks, Boo.
You boo.
It's special when you say it to me, too.
Oh,
It's meant to be.
It's-
any other person, it would.
Yeah,
They're
any
like
other
special.
right across from each other. Like,
I'm not your boo.
it's not
I'm
gay.
not your boo.
It's not gay unless you make eye contact. Oop, too late.
I ain't your Boo.
I'm a grown ass man, dog.
Yeah,
Ain't
but
nobody
do we-
call me delicious.
Grown ass.
Delicious.
Dog.
As that Ice-T says, guess what? I got news for you. You're gay. Yeah,
That means you're gay.
that's what it is. That
Deep,
I have
dark,
relationships with
and
women. I have
delicious.
sex with men. I got news.
that means you're gay. Sorry. It's a hilarious
It might be the
moment.
best scene of that entire show.
You know, I have to agree. Anything with Ice-T. It's funny. But that is especially.
I'm gonna put like extra.
That might be my.
Have you seen his stuff on Rick and Morty?
Yes, I have. It's awesome.
does he- I
Well,
didn't know he was on that.
he wasn't at
Same.
first. They got an impersonator at
Right.
first to do it. But I guess Ice-T jumped on board and was like,
Right,
you
when
know,
he
it's
He was
came
like,
back
probably
for
like,
the second
dude,
one.
I love money.
yeah,
Pay me, and I'll do this shit.
I can do my own voice.
I'm doing the
Tuesday?
general
Yeah,
commercials,
yeah.
man.
I've been me for years.
I don't want Craig Robinson's gig. That's like some Ernie Hudson shit, huh? Went for the Ghostbusters cartoon, didn't even.
Oh,
give
that's
the
right.
part- the
Yeah,
real
you don't
part.
you don't sound enough like
You
Winston.
don't sound like
Motherfucker,
Winston.
I am Winston.
I am Winston. What do you mean Arsenio Hall? What? It's because Arsenio was the in thing.
That's right.
That's why.
Dog
All right,
pound,
let's go.
motherfucker.
Let's do it.
All right, ready?
Read my pamphlet. My pamphlet.
Hey guys, what's the opposite of formaldehyde?
I don't know, Derek. What?
What?
I forgot.
Something with Dr.
It's a
Jekyll.
casual to Jekyll. There we go.
Casual to Jekyll.
Hey guys,
Wait,
Hold
wait,
on, hold on.
I got a burp. Okay. Sorry.
Brian, how about you? Hold on, don't start. I wanted to do that to feed it, like to get it ready for you to edit, because I have to blow my nose.
Go ahead.
I haven't been able to.
That way.
Yeah, right into
COVID.
the microphone so we can all
I
hear
think.
it. Turn your
COVID.
fucking head.
Sorry.
See, this is why we give Derek the green water.
Better.
I've got to be allergic to something.
You gotta be.
I have to be.
We're allergic
have to,
to you.
Because I've noticed you sniffing.
Right, and then
in
my
the
eyes started
episodes.
getting itchy
Yeah,
too. So
today's
I'm like,
the,
fuck.
Yeah, I was like, who farted on this
yeah,
guy's pillow?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you allergic
Derek's
to
got the
me?
pink-
Has it finally happened?
Well, it's only on that side.
No, it's
Yeah.
the eye is
No, I know. That's
it's on the mark side.
Maybe it is you. Maybe
You're a
The
little.
Mark side.
Oh,
I
That's
shouldn't
his
have humped
hide
my
side.
cat last night.
I don't know.
That's his
I got to start
hide.
taking like hardcore medication.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
I swear to God, it's not coke.
Don't
I swear.
Don't.
I'm not like.
It's totally
Yeah, that's
coke.
something a cokehead would say. No.
Our
It's
sniffing
heroin.
account.
It's heroin, I swear.
I can't afford any of that stuff. Come on.
Well,
Well,
we're
if
buying
you
all
stop
this
buying all those
stuff.
fucking
Food.
movies,
Right. Well, yeah. I guess I
Sni-
could.
Sniffing the Coke Zero.
you could definitely develop a pretty solid habit.
That's right.
Stop buying comic books.
Yeah.
No, that's
Sniff those.
don't do that.
Well, some
No.
of them are cheap.
Sniff the comics.
But then there's other ones that aren't. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
spent $40 on on a Batgirl that was like it's
$40. That's not bad. I think
Nah.
you said $400. $40.
No, but I mean, but it adds up. And then I found websites that have back issues and stuff, and they're all in really good quality. So like, these I didn't know that these websites existed, so I just like filled my cart and ended up being like $70 here and $80 on this site. And
Yeah.
I just I got a lot. It's a good stack. But
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Do you sleep on your comics? That's why you got back issues. Next week's dad joke, Derek. Write it down.
Nice.
It's between 1 and 2, so they
Yeah.
already had gone with Ash.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll
Maybe Ash is the
see.
busted model.
Yeah.
Because he
Oh,
was. He tried
I'm
to
not
jam
giving
that
it
fucking
away, see.
magazine down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
that's
kill
fucking throat.
somebody with a magazine.
Swallow this fucking magazine.
He kills him with a neck.
Swallow this fucking
He
magazine.
does.
I know, but the dumbest part of that movie is that
Swallow this magazine.
All right, this'll work. Guys, suck on it. It's like,
Oi, eat
Oi,
this magazine.
eat the
Your
eat this
pages are
magazine.
just getting wet. I can still breathe. You just made a funnel.
I can taste the perfume ads.
Yeah. That's my 100 perfume swatches.
I haven't read this issue yet.